Welcome everyone, this is On Just Restart, and this time we're talking about the true identity of the hand we see in the initial Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. With the second trailer we've gotten, with the extra little bit of footage we've gotten, with the update on the game coming out in spring 2023, and with the most recent potential leak we seem to have gotten with the voice actor talking about how there is an ancestor of Daruk, all of these elements seem to be coming together. And I think I know, or at least have an idea, of who may be the actual identity of the hand we see in the first Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. So before we jump into things, let me first very quickly talk about my social media. You may see a few different things here on screen. You can check that all out. It is linked in the description below. And of course, if you like what you're seeing here, you can subscribe or perhaps consider joining as a member. So basically, in the first trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, we see this green hand with runes around it and an energy emanating from it, sort of pushing down or holding down the corpse that we're pretty sure is Ganondorf. But then things go awry, Link and Zelda go deeper into the tomb, Ganondorf seems to come to life some way, somehow, and the green hand moves around and at some point grabs the hand of Link and seems to save Link from falling down some big chasm during all the destruction and resurrection of Ganondorf. And then the second trailer, we see Zelda for sure falling down a hole, which suggests that Link doesn't fall down the hole, he's saved by that green hand. And we see him in the sky, we've seen different types of ruins, and we even see a shot where it almost looks like, for sure, there's some fusion of that green hand and Link's hand, because we do see at the beginning of the second trailer, Link's hand is destroyed by the malice from Ganondorf, and this green hand seems to save him in some way, and now it almost looks like that green hand is fused with Link's hand, and it seems to give him some sort of level of power here. And then with the most recent update we've gotten from Nintendo on the game coming out in spring 2023, they gave us a little bit more footage, and we got to see that the hand actually has like some sort of insignia or marking depending on what's happening, and this sort of lines up with what we saw in the second trailer with them using some sort of time stasis there. And it also looks like there's some sort of effort to restore the Master Sword because it was clearly destroyed during the events of the resurrection of Ganondorf. So at this point, from all the official footage we've seen from Nintendo, it seems like this hand in some way is going to be assisting Link upon his adventure, and it seems that there's going to be some effort to restore the Master Sword. Likely so they can eventually power up and defeat Ganondorf. And with Zelda still somehow involved in the story, we assume, even though she falls down a hole, we have this concept of the three parts of the Triforce again, going back to previous Zelda games. So there seems to be some sort of influence from the past, especially given that Ganondorf himself is this ancient corpse that goes well beyond any of the events we saw in Breath of the Wild or his flashbacks. And what gets fascinating about this is that most recently there has been this rumor that supposedly, there was an interview, literally an interview, with an Italian voice actor for Daruk, and he said that he voiced lines for Breath of the Wild 2 for Daruk, who's dead, and so he's somehow going to be involved with Breath of the Wild 2, but also his ancestor. Now, Daruk, again, is dead, so it's already weird they're going to be seeing voice lines from him in Breath of the Wild 2. Potentially more flashbacks, or maybe we see his spirit again. But the concept of us seeing something from his ancestor, that's talking about something from a past beforehand. So we have even more evidence that something from the past, well before the events of Breath of the Wild or that calamity attack that led to the whole dystopian world of Hyrule 100 years beforehand, this is all before that. So we have Ganondorf coming back to life. It could be the case that we may be seeing what's going on 10,000 years ago, and we'll be learning about what's happening with the tapestry. And when you look at the hero, it sort of is somewhat representative of Link's new look in Breath of the Wild 2. There could be some idea there. What if that hero is related to the Green Hand? And what if what I'm actually getting at here is that this Green Hand is a previous hero? Now, this concept actually shouldn't be too much of a stretch because we've actually seen this in the past. The hero Shade, which has been confirmed to be the hero from Ocarina of Time, we see in Twilight Princess. So if this Green Hand's identity is the spirit of a previous hero, It's not the first time it's been done, and where we've seen this spirit guide the current hero of the current time in game. And considering that there's actual voice lines being done for an ancestor of Daruk, someone from well before Link's time, it's possible that the only way we could be seeing flashbacks is not necessarily through time travel, but through the memory of this spirit that is linked to a previous hero from a different time. And even if it's not the hero, it's clearly something from a time long ago, a time when Ganondorf was sealed. So many years ago, before any of the events covered in Breath of the Wild beyond just the tapestry lore. So this green hand could be basically the next hero shade, a spirit of the hero, another Link from another time. That is the latest running idea right now. It seems to make some sense here. It could perhaps be someone else, maybe a character we've never heard of before, but this kind of makes sense, and it would answer the question as to how we're going to be seeing voice lines and actual dialogue from an ancestor long before Daruk or any of the events of Breath of the Wild. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if this holds any water or if you think there's something different going on. Anyways, everyone, this is On Just Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.